So hi everyone, my name is Matthew Mackenzie. We're back again and we're going to do another review. Well, not me, but our famous reviewer is here who reads lots of books. So what we're going to do is we'll let them introduce themselves. So could you introduce yourself, Stephen, to the audience?
I am Stephen Vizinczey, the author of In Praise of Older Women, Truth and Lies in Literature, The Innocent Millionaire, and several other books.
And your latest book?
And my Innocent Millionaire, and my latest book, Three Wishes,
That's
which
right.
just came out.
Brilliant. And Claire, how about yourself?
My name's Claire Parker. I'm a friend of Stephen's. I've known him for over 40 years. Most of my career has been teaching, but I've also written a few books, one of which is a fairy story for children aged 8 to 10 called Gossamer Island.
Excellent. And you can get all
Please
those...
stop, speak louder.
Yeah.
Louder?
She's going to speak really loud. Don't trust me. I know the last video was fairly quiet, but this time...
Okay, I'll shout.
Well, you don't have to shout. But as mentioned, those books are available on Amazon. I don't think all of Stephen's books are. They're not easy to get hold of. But his latest one, Three Wishes on Gossamer Island by Claire, is on Amazon. But we're not talking about those today. Enough of this shameless selling. We're going to talk about one of their famous plays, I believe, William Shakespeare's plays. Basically, As You Like It. I believe it's a 5-act comedy by William Shakespeare. I think it was performed in 1600. I think the main theme of this play is love, and getting that message across in a comedic sense. When people think of Shakespeare, they think of tragedy straight away. So basically, it's a pastoral play about two couples who fall in love between contrasting worlds of the court, the scene of the court, and the scene of the forest. So basically, I believe the drama in Shakespeare time, I would say two key elements where they're considered essential, which would be looking at role reversal and this being a love story. And As You Like It, the play contains both of those elements. So Stephen, the first question, quite a basic one. Give us your thoughts about the play As You Like It.
Before the play, I want to say I have to talk about
William Shakespeare, I suppose.
no, I forgot her name, the actress.
Oh, I wouldn't know.
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren.
That's right, yes.
You know about Shakespeare. Helen Mirren. I was very happy that the first thing I saw when I came to England in 1965 was Helen Mirren playing Turgenev, A Month in the Country. And and she was a great actress, and I thought these women will go far. I never imagined that he would end up playing stupid detective dramas full with holes. But so it was a tragic thing of all these great actresses of the time that they were had great roles when they were young, and they ended up playing garbage in their old age. That's horrible. Poor old Laurence Olivier just died in time. If he remained alive, instead of after Hamlet, he would be doing now again a stupid detective drama, being a detective. So the first thing for an old man like myself is that things went backward. Poor Olivier just died in time. He still could end his career playing great characters like King Lear, but aside today he would be playing a detective, which would be very so sad. And anybody, all the great actors at the time, I think that talent also comes in waves. one of the reasons all the plays were great at the time, and As You Like It was so beautiful, because all the actors learned on the stage. They all had stage background. Today, actors have background in television, and television doesn't develop talent the same way as the theater. There is nothing to replace book. There is nothing to replace the theater. And no, the people you see in television are people who grow up on television, and sans good schooling, sans everything really.
So a bit about the play, and I'm glad you mentioned that. Obviously, the play does demand, as what you said, great performances. That's the basis of all Shakespeare's plays.
Yes.
If you're going to play it, then play it well.
First of all, he was not only the greatest dramatic poet, but he was also an actor. And he wrote great roles for actors. So any play he had, you could play the character. And the actor had something to say, something to act. So that was great, and certainly in As You Like It, it has the 7 ages of man, which perhaps you are familiar with, in which sense that from babyhood until a man reaches his second childhood, and the 7 ages of every man, and all men are actors in a play, and play different parts, 7 different parts. And the man who makes this statement, the actor, is one of the best roles. It's very hard to say which was the best role that Shakespeare created, but Melancholy Jack was certainly one of them. And it is he who says, no, it is the prince who says, because the prince, the ruler was displayed, sent to exile, and replaced by his brother, who became the ruler. And the ruler lived in the forest of Arden. And then he makes the great speeches about sweet are the uses of adversity, which is also one of the great things which is worth to remember when you are feeling low, that you learn everything from failure and adversity. And it's certainly true in
the play.
As You Like It.
So I want to bring Claire in to get your views as your thoughts to As You Like It, and I know you've read it recently. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you anything in depth, but I want to get your thoughts on the play and why you like it.
I think As You Like It is the most delightful of Shakespeare's comedies. You quite rightly call it a pastoral comedy, and that's very true, although the play starts in a court scene. And so you have a great contrast there with the formality of the court and the freedoms that they all experience once they're in the country. So, and yes, it's a pastoral, it's a play that's full of music. There are so many songs in it, so there's a lightness to it which is captivating. But of course there's a darker side as well. Act 1, Scene 1, and you have two sets of brothers behaving badly. You've got Duke Frederick, who exiles his brother, who's known as Duke Senior, so he's in the forest with his friends. And then you have Oliver and Orlando, the brothers, and Oliver treats him very badly, like a swineherd who looks after pigs. So there's great contrast in this play, wonderful contrasts. And as Stephen said, it's a love story. There are several loves. There's Orlando who falls in love with Rosalind. Rosalind, of course, is the daughter of the banished duke. And then you have Celia. So Rosalind and Celia have grown up together, and they're great friends. They're cousins, but they're great friends. And when Rosalind is thrown out of the family home by Duke Frederick for no other reason that his own daughter will shine more brightly with the common people once Rosalind is out of the way, because Rosalind is very popular. So he banishes Rosalind, throws her out. Now, you might expect Celia to stay at home, because that's obviously a lot more comfortable, but she doesn't. She flees with her friend into the forest of Arden, and that's where all the fun starts. You have great characters in this play, don't you? As you pointed out, great characters in the play. You have the melancholy Jacques.
It's very difficult to play a Shakespeare play where characters are not great.
Oh, that's true. Yes. So, there's evil in the play. There's certainly a lot of unpleasantness with dukedoms being usurped. But of course, at the end, there are reconciliations. Oliver, who's thrown his brother into the pigsty, he marries Celia, and he apologizes for his past misdeeds. So there's reconciliation at the end. So it's a play of great harmony at the end.
Mm.
All the wrongs that have been done are righted.
Yeah.
And people are happy.
And like in all, like not all, but like many Shakespeare plays, the roles are doubled. Just as in King Lear, you have King Lear and his children. You also have Gloucester and his sons. And in As You Like It, you have the exiled prince, the prince and the exiled prince, and also the exiled brother whose brother robbed him. The older brother robs him of his fortune. And that too is quite similar in another social status to what happens to the main characters. So there is a double drama. Most playwrights find it difficult to find one drama in their play. Shakespeare always had at least two, and that's very fantastic.
I've often wondered at the end of As You Like It, the usurped duke, who's called Duke Senior, his lands are everything is restored to him by his usurping brother. But when you think back of how he's spoken in the play, sweet are the uses of adversity, and he loves the life that he lives in the forest of Arden with his friends who have flocked to him. And you wonder, okay, his lands and everything have been restored to him. He'd go and live at the court again. Would he like it? Would he like this transition into his former life when he's enjoyed all the pleasures of living in the country? That's the question that's not answered in the play. You just wonder, you think, well, it's very good. He's got his lands back, his position back. Is that really what he wants?
And that sort of gives something for the readers to sort of query, leaves the readers to think about the play even more, and what would happen to the characters. And going back to the characters, I'm going to ask you a question on who are your favourite characters in the play, if you have any. And I'd start with Stephen. Is there any character that just sort of springs out at you? I know you mentioned one of them.
Well, there is also a smaller part, but very important. Aubrey is one of the girls who doesn't love. Again, when it comes to love, that play has everything from every point of view. You hear from the lovers, the hopeless lover, the happy lovers. You hear I cannot think of a play which looks at and depicts and portrays love in so many different ways. And
That's true.
it's fantastic. It's certainly, you could say that As You Like It is more about love, says more about love than any other play I can think of.
Excellent, excellent. And Claire, do you have any favourite characters out of the play?
Well, I have to say, I have a daughter.
Yeah.
She's called Rosalind. And I called her Rosalind after Rosalind in the play because I admire that character so much. But the thing is, my daughter's an actress.
Yeah.
Mostly out of work, but still she's trained as an actress. But she will never play Rosalind. You know why? Because in the play, the real Rosalind says she's going to be Ganymede dressed as a boy. For I am more than common small. I'm afraid my daughter is like me, she's very small. So she can never play her namesake. So Rosalind is a great character. There are so many great characters in that play. Melancholy Jacques, yes. He's a great character. Rosalind and Celia. And of course Orlando.
He's a great character.
Yeah.
I've also left some quotes in. If you could pick up some of the quotes and let's give some of the viewers something to listen to. You can read out any of the quotes you want and say, why is that one so famous, and if anyone recognises it.
Oh yes, Duke Senior.
Yeah.
Talking about his life in the forest, in the country. And this our life, exempt from public haunt, finds tongues in trees, books in running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything. I would not change him. Of course, at the end of the play, he's given the opportunity to change it, but we don't know how what he will do.
What the outcome is, yeah.
Yeah, what the outcome is. I would not change it. Yes, that's a wonderful speech, actually. Yes.
And if you could pass it to Stephen, there's one about all the world as a stage, I believe. If you could read that one.
That's one of the greatest speeches ever made.
Yeah. It's on the...
It's about the man in being 7 parts.
And do you want to read it out for the viewers in case no one's ever heard that before, and if you can't quite see, don't worry.
All the world is a stage, and all the men and women merely players that have their exits and their entrances. And one man in his time plays many parts. He acts being...
His acts being 7 ages.
He acts being 7
And you mentioned that before, the 7 ages, isn't it?
Yeah.
And why does that particular quote leap out? I mean, there was other quotes on that page and you chose that one. Why did you want to let viewers know about that quote?
It's taken by the character. The fool is always the main character in Shakespeare plays. Is the who speaks for the writer, really. And in this play it's called The Melancholic Jacques. And he makes this big speech about the 7 ages of man. And you can't say anything that except you read it, you think you're reading about your own life.
Yeah.
Because you realize as you read it that it is your life's history. You had your entrance and your exit. You come crying as a baby who pukes and in his
You go to school,
in the
snail.
nurse's arm,
Yeah.
and at the end of the seventh ages, he's a baby again. Sans
Sans eyes, sans teeth, sans everything. Yeah.
Ah, brilliant. So I'm going to start with yourself, Claire. That's the last question on this one. Why should anyone watch or even read this play As You Like It? I mean, let's just try and just get across if you could sell the book to viewers of the modern age, of this age.
If you read the play or if you go to see it, you will come out feeling a lot better.
Yeah.
Because it's a wonderful representation of life, you know, all its facets, but especially the happy side. It's a very joyful play. And as I said before, it's full of music and song, dance at the end. So people who go to see the play, they will leave it feeling uplifted, definitely.
And we need that for this age, that's for
Oh,
sure.
definitely,
Yeah.
yes.
If there's any plays playing on, you probably have to watch the thing on TV if they had a film version of the thing. How about yourself, Stephen? You know, why should anyone bother reading, you know, As You Like It, or watching it on TV or film?
watch it, the original BBC productions. They were great.
Yeah.
The remakes, that was often remake and worse every time. If you want to see how good that play is, you have to see the original BBC production,
Yeah.
which was done by the great head of entertainment of the BBC at the time. And there was no money spared, and they had great actors for every part. And you know, it's practically unique. The BBC Shakespeares, the original BBC Shakespeares, are fantastic. I already talked about how the modern versions, modern directors try to bring down genius to their own level of mediocrity. And there is no later version of the play, not even the BBC, the later BBC versions, which equals the first one. So if you watch it, watch the original BBC program.
Excellent.
Once the theatres open again,
Yeah.
that will be, this is the play they should put on, the
All
RSC
right.
at Stratford, because it will lift people's spirits, especially at a time like this, with coronavirus.
And I'm glad you mentioned that. And what we'll do, we'll end on that note. I'd like to say thanks for the viewers supporting Stephen's YouTube channel, and you know, stay tuned. We'll be reviewing more books, plays to keep you entertained during this difficult period. I'd like to say thanks for watching, and hopefully we can see you again soon.
Thank you,
Bye.
thank you,
Matthew.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
See